welcome back to another Civ 6 video, and we're doing another relatively spoiler-free map seed, and every once in a while I decide that I'm going to try and do a certain map type starting from map 1. So this is going to be map seed 1 and game seed 1 on the Wetlands map, and all of the other settings are left to the default selections. There are quite a few leaders on this map that get a very strong starting spot. I would say about half of the leaders I tried get this particular starting spot here by Mount Roraima. If you're playing with Secret Societies and Heroes and Legends mode on, the first turn discovery of Mount Roraima will frequently result in the astrology boost triggering the Hermetic Order discovery, which will give you a governor title, and then also a hero discovery most of the time. Couple quick notes about this starting spot. You'll have to make an immediate decision about how quickly you want to get to the Roraima enhanced tiles and how important fresh water is for you, because you'll have to make a decision on whether you want to settle in place or move. So it's going to take 2 moves for most civs to reach both a tile that is on fresh water and next to a Roraima tile. Now, of course, if you selected John Curtin off that list, you could forego the fresh water and just settle in place, but then you would still be outside of the initial range from getting one of those Roraima tiles. Now, depending on which way you opt to explore, you should expect to possibly get 2, maybe 3 tribal villages, or if you're not so lucky, you should probably get at least 1. And I would expect to get at least 1 and possibly only 1 first meet on a city-state. You'll also notice on this starting spot that there is a single desert tile, and spoiler alert, there is a nearby stone to give you the masonry boost. So if you do want to try and rush into early pyramids, you do have that 1 desert tile and the masonry boost available to you. Now, let's say rather than having a super strong starting spot, you want to make the game a challenge and you want the AI to have a super strong starting spot. Well, if you select one of the leaders off the list here, one of your AI opponents will end up with that spot, and you'll end up with a spot on the same continent, sort of right next to that civ, but sort of in the middle of the continent. Now, this starting spot certainly doesn't have the huge science and faith advantage that Roraima gives, but there are some advantages to this spot. Generally, the spot has better terrain features in terms of marsh, forest, and jungle, and you could also get lucky with some of the flooding on the floodplains. You can also expand to a nearby area where you could get lucky with some of the volcanic ash by the volcano there. You can expect to probably get more meets on city-states as the first meet from this spot because you are in the center of the continent, and maybe a little better chance of tribal villages, but I think you'd probably max out at around 3 if you got lucky. So still about the same, but a much better shot at getting the city-state first meets. I did run across 2 other starting spots when I was trying out this seed, but I only ran across them once each. The first one is here with the Aztecs, and this is on a completely different continent from the one I was showing earlier in the video. I don't have a whole lot to say about this spot except for the fact that it is relatively open in terms of room to expand. The last starting spot I ran across also only once was with Genghis Khan of Mongolia, and this is on the same continent as the Roraima start, but it's on the far east side of that continent rather than the western side where the Roraima start is. But if you start in this spot, again, it's relatively resource rich. Since you sort of know where Roraima is, you could easily get the early astrology boost if you wanted it, and it probably gives you a chance to get 2, possibly 3 city-state meets and about the same number of tribal villages as the 2 other starting spots on this continent. So for folks that watched my first spoiler-free map seed video, sorry there's less color commentary this time. There just wasn't as much in terms of colorful or interesting features to discuss to add to the commentary this time. But thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more Civ 6 content. And also, sorry console folks, this seed information is just for the PC version.